Bonk's Revenge was developed by Red Company, now Red Entertainment, for TurboGrafx 16. TurboGrafx Games was released on Hue cards, which are about the size of a business card and just look cool in its own right. Since this is one of the earlier games, the sticker looks pretty plain, but I still like it. This is a sequel to Bonk's Adventure, and just like the first, this game is a one-player action-adventure. This game is a bit underrated, and that's because it's overshadowed by big titles that were released around the same time or that year. There was Sonic the Hedgehog, Final Fantasy IV, Super Mario World, Monkey Island 2, Road Rash, and a bunch of others, and you know what? Poor Bonks didn't stand a chance. What a shame, because this wasn't a bad game. Now there are 3 ways to play. There's Practice, Intermediate, or Expert. Practice gives you more hearts and you play through only level 1. Intermediate has 5 hearts and you play levels 1 through 4. And lastly, Expert mode has only 3 hearts and you play through the whole game. Now the whole game consists of 7 stages and there are 2 parts to each stage with a mid and final boss. There are lots of enemies, but you'll mostly encounter chickens. Whether they're sleeping, throwing axes, or surfing, 1 or 2 hits will take care of them easily. Now you have a head bump and you have a ground pound that shakes the earth and stuns enemies. You can also twirl in the air using the ground pound, and it took me a minute to figure out the controls, but it wasn't because it's complex. On the TurboGrafx controller, there is a rapid fire feature, so when you hold a button you can just go nuts, and I had to adjust while playing, but that made the gameplay more interesting. The platforming is a lot of fun, especially when you're looking for the bonus stages or the extra hearts. There are a bunch of power-ups, but the most iconic is the meat. When you get 1 meat, you can freeze enemies, and when you get a second meat, you'll breathe fire and be invincible for 10 seconds. There's also food scattered everywhere, burgers, fries, those will give you points, but only the fruit will give you some of your health back. What I really liked is with all that's going on, from volcanoes erupting to enemies throwing things or they're just flying around, I didn't experience any lag. There is an additional bonus stage that is available based on how many smiley faces you can find. The bonus stage itself is a train, and the length is based on the number of smiley faces obtained. I've had this game for a long time and I can't remember what I paid for it, but as of December 2017, a loose card goes for $35 and it's $45 for a complete box with instructions. Bonk's Revenge is a really underrated game and it's easy to play, so even your kids could get into this. If you own a TurboGrafx, you better pick this game up. If you don't own the console, don't worry about that. Bonk's Revenge has been ported to Nintendo's Virtual Console and PlayStation, so you'll still be able to play it.